let me tell you the specific regulations that we have in this country that are already operational as of now, but I'll not tell you everything because there are so many and most of them may not really apply to you as of now. I'm going to mention the very specific ones that are going to affect any small business person that is up and about around here, the common ones. All right. The first regulations is the EIA regulation of 2006, and there is an amendment of 2019. Now listen, this is the very important one for most of us because this governs how experts are approved, licensed, certified, and all these things. Talks about the experts, how they're supposed to conduct themselves, who are supposed to do this, who are supposed to be the experts. It also talks about the EIA, the Environmental Impact Assessment. Now, this is very specific for most of us because you will need this license before you go ahead with your project. We have talked about that so much in this channel. Make sure to watch this video or this video that talks about that topic. Environmental audit. It talks about environmental audits. Which facilities should carry out environmental audits? Type of environmental audits. Who carries out environmental audits? When should an environmental audit be done? All these are said and well elaborated in this regulation, the EIA regulation of 2006. There's an amendment of 2019, like I mentioned, and this now made it even easier for us business people because it talks about it amended parts of the initial regulation of 2006, amended some part of it, so it brought about the EIA, the categories of how the EIA was categorized initially in the regulation of 2006. Now it amended that and made it a little more clearer. Okay, and so that is as a result of summary project report. I have done a video on what is a summary project report. I am doing a video on what is a comprehensive project report, what is a study report. All these are provided in the amendment. Regulation number 2 that we're going to talk about is the waste management regulation of 2006. Okay, don't even worry about the year and all these things. The only thing that you need to do to know is that there is a regulation on waste management. Now this one is going to affect people who are dealing with waste. If your business involves waste, for example, you are a waste collector, you collect waste from the estates to dispose them off in the disposal sites. You need licenses from NEMA to transport that waste. If you operate a recycling plant, or you are a recycler of plastics, of paper, whatever you recycle, you are somebody who collects scrap metal. Now this is where you pay for these licenses. They are in this regulation that talks about waste management. And remember, even the dump sites pay. So the county government also pays to NEMA to operate a dump site. As you pay to operate a dump site if you are a recycler because your area is taken to be a transfer station or a disposal site. Regulation number 3 that we're going to talk about here is the water quality regulation of 2006. Now this one is where most people are caught up without notice. Now I have been talking about how you're supposed to pay if you're polluting the environment. It's not me who is saying, it is a principle that is already there. If you pollute the environment, you pay. The principle is called polluter pay principle. So if you're polluting the environment, you ought to pay for that pollution. Now, it talks about water quality. So if you are going to distort, if you are going to degrade the water quality of whatever water body you're having or whatever the water body you're using, then you ought to pay. And this is where now most people who have wastewater discharge usually have to pay a certain amount of fee for an effluent discharge license. An effluent is what you're releasing out, getting out of your process, your industry, your company, your building, the effluent. So there's the effluent discharge license that you usually pay to NEMA, which is an annual license. A certain amount of fee must be paid for this license. So this is the regulation that governs that. Okay, I hope you understand the water quality regulation. So these licenses that you pay, and if you don't pay them in time, you'll be prosecuted, you'll be fined, you'll be penalized, so much trouble. So if you know you are a facility and your waste is disposed of into the environment. When I say the environment, I mean you using a septic tank to treat your wastewater, or soak pit, biodigester, whatever you're using, you ought to pay for EDL. If you're connected to the sewer line, you don't pay for EDL, because the sewer manager, the sewer treatment company, is the one that pays for the license. Regulation number 4 that we're going to talk about here is the noise and excessive vibrations, and this is of 2009. Now, noise and excessive vibration, if you are to conduct an activity that is going to really have lots of vibration, then you need to pay for a permit. You need a permit from NEMA to allow you to use that, to go ahead with the process, especially the excessive vibration. Now, you need to know that noise is devolved to the county government. I did a video very early in this channel on noise, whether noise is an issue that is handled by county or NEMA, and yes, noise is devolved function. So noise, for example, you want to do an advertisement in town with your vehicle, you will need to go to county government and not necessarily NEMA. Initially, it was with NEMA, you would get permits from NEMA, but currently, after devolution, it is now a county function. So go to the county government office of environment. That is where you will be served. Excessive vibrations, that is still under NEMA. So any conflict, any incidents, complaints, permitting you need on noise, that is being handled by the county government currently. That regulation we are talking about is called Noise and Excessive Vibration Pollution Control of 2009. Regulation number 5 we are going to talk about in this channel is called the Air Quality Regulation, and this is of 2014. Still very new and just started to apply. Now, air quality, like I talked about, you pollute the environment, you pay. If you're polluting the air, if you're degrading the quality of the air, then you have to pay. So if you're a milk processor, or you're processing coffee or tea, mostly these companies and facilities that have smoke emission, they release air emissions, they have to apply for a license that is called the air emission license. It is an annual license with a certain amount of fee that you have to pay depending on how much you're polluting. Of course, there are other things that you need to do to be able to verify that. Things like the air quality report, you need to do an air quality report, analysis, and all these things. So that one is also being implemented in the action. Most companies are already doing this, the tea factories, the hospitals because of the incinerators. We have the milk processors because of the boilers. Companies like Coca-Cola, they are doing that because of the boilers they have. What else? Nothing else is coming to mind currently, but if you have a chimney or an incinerator, with time you will start paying for this if you are not already paying. If you're paying, let me know down in the comment section how the process went with you. Those are the main ones. We're going to talk about 5, but there are so many. There are about 8 that are gazetted. There are others that are in the process of gazettement. Those ones I don't really think you really need to mind about them, because they do not really have to interfere with your business, your day-to-day business. For example, controlled substances, the pesticides that have been controlled and banned, you don't really interfere with them unless now you're in the business in that specific business. I don't think a normal business person will really require that. So those are the main environmental regulations that we're going to talk about in this video, because they are going to have a direct impact on your business. So if you are a business, if you're in business, when I say business, I mean all businesses, manufacturing, you're in the transport industry, you're in the petrol industry, you are in the mining and quarrying, most of these will apply in one way or the other to your business. It is important you know them so that you know these licenses you need to apply every now and then. Any question you have, please contact me, reach me down, leave a comment down in the comment section. I'll see you the next time, but till then, keep safe.